Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, Tyson Fury was speaking once again. He was taking a trip down memory lane, as many of us know. You know, one of the things that Tyson Fury loves to talk about, one of the things that he loves to detail and break down about some of his past battles with former opponents is, Wladimir Klitschko and the infamous Sauna story. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, and for those of you who've never heard this story before, basically, apparently Wladimir Klitschko had this thing where he had to always stay in the sauna longer than everybody, and it was like his mental thing, according to Tyson Fury. So Tyson Fury got in the sauna with Wladimir Klitschko, and he made it his mission to stay in the sauna longer than him. And this is when he was a young fighter. He was still a prospect, not even a contender. And he actually wound up staying in the sauna longer than Wladimir Klitschko and nearly passed out doing it. And he got in what he thought in his mind was a mental victory. So here's what he said. Here's the story from Fury himself. He said, I quote, Fury said that Klitschko was a sauna king. Or no, hold on. Everyone said that Klitschko was a sauna king. He couldn't be beaten in the sauna. Everyone goes in the sauna and Klitschko just has to stay in longer. It's his little mental thing he does to everybody. Everything's a competition to me. If we're playing basketball or PlayStation, I've got to win. I'm in there like a minute and I was totally fucked, thinking I can't do this. I really can't do it. We sit in the sauna for a long time. It got up to 20 minutes and he gets up and makes it harder. Now I'm counting to 10, 6 times for a minute in my head. Then I know it's been a minute. I pass out. The boys will just bring me out and put some water on me, and I know I'll be alright. I got a newspaper, I picked it up, I put oil all over me. I'm laid down reading this newspaper. It gets to about 45 minutes and he just walks out. Didn't even speak to anyone on the way out, he just goes upstairs. I thought, I can't just get up and walk out. I've got to leave it a few minutes, so I'm nearly passing out and walked out the door. Felt all lightheaded like I'm really going to faint. And everyone said, what did you do to Klitschko? And I said, listen, I've just won a mental battle with him. So that's Fury's side of the story. Klitschko also found out that Fury's still talking about this. And here's what Vlad said. He said, I quote, I keep reading these disturbing stories about Fury's recollections of the sauna. Apparently, I was in some contest in his head. How creepy. This man keeps having thoughts, dreams of me in a sauna. End quote. So let's get up and let's talk about this. Now listen, this was probably one of the most infamous and amazing things about that whole build up to that fight, as many of us know. The thing is, I'm reading these quotes and they all sound a certain way, but what you can't see is Wladimir Klitschko's facial expressions, because when Fury first brought this up to him in person, you can tell that Klitschko knew what he was talking about, and you can tell that Fury wasn't lying in that particular instance. And it was, okay, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, let's go with Klitschko for a second. Let's say Fury in his brain is just making up these contests, and that's what he's telling himself. Well, you know what? If that's what he had to tell himself to give himself the extra confidence and the extra push in camp and the extra push in the ring to put on a tactical masterclass against Wladimir Klitschko, then god dang it, it worked. You can't argue with the results. So you can't argue with the results. But it's all part of the sport of boxing. Boxing is a sport that can take us back to our primal instincts. We all want to see who the top dog is. We all want to see who the alpha male of all the alpha males are. And I guess in that moment, even though they weren't fighting, Tyson Fury, that was his first chance. That was his first chance, at least in his mind. That was his first chance to prove, not to the world because nobody was there but him and Klitschko, but to prove to himself, the only person that matters, himself, that he could beat Wladimir Klitschko and he could get the first mental victory on Wladimir Klitschko, and he did. And he took that mental victory and he parlayed it into another mental victory that same fight week, when he was sitting across from him at the table and he brought it up on national television in the infamous The Gloves Are Off segment with Johnny Nelson. And these are just some of the many ways Tyson Fury can get into an opponent's head. He's a master at the psychology of heavyweight boxing and getting into his opponent's heads. And this was our really, in big fights, this is our first introduction into the psychology and the mind games of Tyson Fury. And sometimes too with him, he's one of those guys, like Tyson Fury's one of those guys, like when he's in the ring, sometimes when he fights these guys that he's supposed to whoop, like your Nevin Pajic's of the world, he almost needs to be hit and needs to be hurt because he likes pain. It's like a weird thing with Fury. But You know, with Vlad, it's like he had to psych himself up. He had to do whatever he could to make it, to give him the extra push, the extra oomph in the ring to beat this guy. And this, in a weird way, was his way of doing that. And you know, you can't argue with the results. You know, he turned in one of the best heavyweight performances of the last 5 or 6 years. A lot of people said it was boring. They said Tyson Fury ran around the ring, but you know what? You know what? It doesn't matter if he ran around the ring, because guess what? It doesn't matter if he ran around the ring, because the result of that was 2015 Fighter of the Year. You can't argue with the results. He was 2015 Fighter of the Year, so we gonna respect my main man Tyson Fury, all right? He was in the sauna. You know what? I believe him. Damn it, I believe him. If he said it, I believe it, okay? I believe he was in the sauna. I believe he almost passed out, because he is the kind of person that will go to those lengths to get a victory. He is. He is the kind of person that will go to that length to get a mental victory for the mental edge to win a big fight. I mean, we saw when he fought Wilder, and Wilder decked him on the canvas, and we thought he was dead for like 2 seconds, and he got up, and it wasn't enough for Wilder, okay? And he won the rest of that round, okay? So this guy has proven many times in his career, in the ring and definitely outside of it, that he's one of the toughest son of a guns on earth, okay? He's got a lot of mental strength, mental fortitude, and this was, for him, the first step in proving that. Not to just the world, but mainly to himself. Because you got to understand, too, when Fury was a prospect, because that's when all this happened, he was a prospect. When Tyson Fury was a prospect, he was fighting these Nikolai Furthas and these John McDermotts and these Nevin Pajiks, and he wasn't looking all the best. He wasn't looking like, he wasn't the guy that we saw in the Wilder rematch. And you know, he needed something to really give him that extra boost, and that's what this was. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think the Sauna story is real? Or do you think it's a load of BS? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about the Tyson Fury, Klitschko, Sauna story? If you believe it, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe, because we're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. I'm trying to hit that 30K real soon. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.